Hello and welcome to We with Sandrian. And today I have a very important guest. Uh, I've been trying to get in touch with this lady since last year, I think. And she's been very, very busy. And once we do this video, you'd understand why. So I have with me Nestor Noel from Grenada. Nestor, tell us a little about yourself. And hi.
Hi, I'm Nestor Noel. Very simple, outgoing person, very active. Head to let a minute waist. And I love challenges. That's my thing. Because I love challenges, I'm involved in so many different things. And I always aim for perfection. That's the thing about me. Yes, I have a very high desire to always have perfection in what I'm doing. It doesn't matter how small it is, but that's what I aim for. I love nature. Mm-hmm. That's my reason for being in the farming, and I love nice food. People always say you like to eat. I say yes, I love to eat because I love nice food.
Okay, pause. I'll pause you there because you love to eat. Clearly, you're eating healthy because it doesn't show. And you said a few things. You talked about farming, which shows again on you that you eat healthy, and I'm guessing that you farm your own. But before we go into that, I like this. Well, I love the outfit. I can see all the Afrocentricness happening. I love the earrings, the hair wrap. But I wanted to point out some things I see behind you. Tell us a little about that.
So these are a little bit of feature from Nester's Crochet. Mm-hmm. Now, crochet is something that I grew to love and become very, very passionate about it. I started watching my godmother make her doilies and so on. And I remember my first little crochet, I had to wash it about 10 times so it can look like crochet, because, you know, when you're just starting, all the motion, you know, not clean hands and so on, you get it looking like a little different than what it should be. But over the years, I have mastered it and learned different stitches. And my thing about crochet is it doesn't have to be like the ordinary old-fashioned crochet. It has to be like the day-to-day fashion that we experience. So I can watch somebody in a fabric style and I can go sit down and crochet. So for me, crochet is like off the limits. It's just my imagination adding to maybe one or two patterns I see out there. But these are just stuff for the summer. As you can see, they're pretty much casual, very casual.
Very
and yeah, very, very casual. They're pretty much for if you're going on a beach cruise, or if you're going just to a casual thing, going for ice cream and so on. You have the crop tops and the pants, and I love colors. I very much love bright colors because it creates a sense of life. So I like lively crochet and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask a question. Sorry. So hold on. I'm like blown away here. These are all crochet, and you did these patterns with your hands.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I love I love them all, the pink outfit, because I know I saw some swimsuits and stuff, and I'm still working on it. Once some swimsuit ready, I have to order my own too. But tell me, how long does it take you to make, for example, the pink outfit?
Right, the pink outfit. Once I sit down to it, I can do that pink outfit in 6 hours.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah, because once I'm focused, I do very quickly.
Your godmother would be very proud of you because you've taken something that she took very casually and turned it into a masterpiece. Because you started from doilies, and for those who don't know, I'm not a crocheter at all, but I know the doilies is the circular thing you put on your tables.
Right, on your chair backs or your tables.
Exactly. And when I was younger, the step up from doilies, we had the dolls, you know, but look, you turned that into
and the pineapples, yes.
And the pineapples, yes. Yes. But you turned that into
fashionable clothing.
Very fashionable clothing, not just fashionable clothing. You know, and I can't wait to get my hands on piece. So I'm gonna back up a little here because you talk about a few things. You talk about you love farming. So you introduced us to crocheting. Tell me what kind of businesses. So I know you have a few businesses going. What are the businesses you have going?
Okay, so I have 23 years of experience in hospitality management.
Wow.
I worked in the hospitality industry for that bit, working in hotel, on cruise ship, and the final part of it was basically management based. So I am very skilled, knowledgeable, and experienced in that sector. I train, I recruit, train staff, I launch new restaurants.
Wow.
I manage restaurants. I do functions like private functions, wedding catering and stuff like that. And I'm very versed in back and front of house. What we call back of house is the kitchen, front of house is the service outlet.
Okay,
so yes, I cook very well. I make the lovely local dishes, and I supervise the service, which is, again, I always aim for perfection in that area. And yes, so due to me being in the hospitality industry for such a long time, I developed a great passion for food. And nice food. It always have to be presented well and tasting well, and you know, exquisite dishes. I love the authentic food line, just like the Thai food, the Indian food, the Chinese food, but it has to be authentic because I know authentic food. And
do you cook authentic Grenadian food? Yeah, we have Grenadian food.
Yes, authentic Grenadian food, because we can take our simple breadfruit that we only, a lot of people know just in the oil down, and we can take that breadfruit and make breadfruit croquette, breadfruit flour, which make breadfruit pancakes, bread loaf. We can, you know, make breadfruit pie, really nice breadfruit pies, and drinks just as well. And I'm thinking in terms of later on down the road, trying something like a breadfruit flavor gummy. That would be interesting, huh?
That would be very interesting.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about going all the way with those local foods and experimenting with them and making excellent product, which would be healthy and at the same time fulfilling to those who consume it.
Oh, wow. So I like the fact that it's not just making authentic food. You want to make authentic, healthy food. But let's hold on, back up. So tell us, and then you have another business. You had Nester'S Crochet, Nester'S Farm. What's the other business you do?
I have Fruity Moss Grenada.
That sounds interesting.
Fruity Moss Grenada is a fruit-infused drink line, which I offer at the moment 8 flavors. So what I did is that I take sea moss, which is what people know as Irish moss, and I blend it with 8 different flavor fruit. Now those fruit was selected based on the nutritional value and health benefit. So you have a fruit like soursop. So I have a fruity moss, which is sea moss infused with soursop. I have sea moss infused with tamarind, sea moss infused with lime, sea moss infused with cherry, sea moss infused with guava, infused with passion fruit, and sea moss infused with ginger. So all of those are very, very nutritious and play a really great part in the body function, like digestion, aiding with skin problem. Your goiter, you know, your kidney, like the tamarind is good for pressure, and cherries high in vitamin C. So when you consume a fruity moss, it's like $1 million a bottle, but it's just more than that because it takes care of your body need. And then the base of it, which is sea moss, is known to have 92 minerals out of the 102 minerals which the body needs. So sea moss in itself is a superfood. So think about it. Combine a superfood with a rich in vitamin or rich in iron or calcium. You wouldn't desire anything else.
Okay, hold on. Wow, you gave us a lot of information. Okay, I've never thought of sea moss in that way, but I've just changed my mind and I'm dying to taste some of your.
Right. And one more thing to point out, it's lactose free, it's gluten free, and it's vegan. So there you go. Top of the line, you do not desire anything better.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's dash the milk away. So I
Yeah.
guess you're saying by us adding, because I know I've had it before, but people add condensed and all this stuff. You're saying in of itself, you don't need to put all the stuff in sea moss. Keep it natural, keep it gluten-free,
Yes.
lactose-free, and you infused it with all this other flavors. I've never heard sea moss infused with anything but
Trust
condensed.
me, they are unique in their own self.
Mhm.
Yes.
I can't wait. The ginger one is really starting to tingle me because I like ginger.
Yes, and the ginger is loved by so many people,
Mhm.
because the whole feel on the palate that the ginger gives is something very refreshing, very balanced, and it's nothing is overpowering each other. So it's something that when people have the ginger, you would get that feeling. Yeah, and at the end of it.
Okay, so you're doing a lot of things. I don't know how you have time, but we'll talk about that in a sec. So let's go back to like your beginnings. How did you get here? Where did you start? And then we'll talk a little about the farm also, because farming, I mean, I'm guessing, I'm not a farmer, but I've picked up nutmegs, okay, as a child.
Right.
But so we'll talk about that, but let's back up to you as a child. Was this something you dreamt of, being in the hospitality arts? Did you take that in school? Did you go to university? Did you pick up this knowledge of what's good and bad for you along the way, or that's something you were always passionate about?
Okay, growing up as a child, we have something in St. David's. It's a place in St. David's called the Big Yard. That's where I was born. And in that big yard, evening time, you would have all the kids from the neighborhood coming and telling stories, sitting down, laughing, chatting, and all of that. So that created a great sense of togetherness and hospitableness. So in growing up now, going into high school, and you start meeting different persons with different perspective, and you start fixing your agenda. You based on the subjects that I was doing, like home economics, which I loved, and geography, which I actually used to speak geography at that time. I was yes, I wanted to be a meteorological officer, but in those times,
at some point, yeah.
Yeah, in those times when you grow up with little or no resources that can take you to that next level, you have to have a shift in direction. And when I graduated, that's where the shift came. I immediately took a job as a sales clerk. And people always say, you are a very good talker. You know how to keep people between your fingers. So as a sales clerk, I would go out there and I would sell because talking is selling. And my product is always the best. You could never get another salesperson with a better product than mine. So that's where it all started, the whole excitement of working with people and meeting with people. But after like about 6 months after being a sales clerk, I thought, I wanted more. And the instinct for challenge started to come in. I said I wanted more. And that's when I joined the lift off on the airport. And a lot of people always look back and say to me, that was a really good lift off. Because from lift off, I became a waitress there. And the speed I had, the knowledge of the food and the understanding of working with people really pushed me into the gear that I wanted to shift next. After that, I went to Ramada Renaissance, which was a hotel. So I am starting to look bigger, And From Ramada, I took my training and I got better. And then there was Rex coming on stream. So I said, wow, new hotel, new opportunities. So
Yes.
why not just keep moving? You know, and I left Ramada, went to Rex, and I grew rapidly, you know, in Rex because I started as a waitress. Then I went to cashier supervisor, wine steward, and supervisor. And while I was at that phase in my life, I decided, you know what? I think that's the direction I want to go. So I started doing studies with American Hotel and Motel Institute. And yes, so I started doing studies with them. And the exam was pretty much like a classroom style because it was a proctored exam. So they would send the exam paper to somebody who I designate as my supervisor, and I would only see the exam on the day of the exam, which the person present, and pick it up as soon as I finish. So it was very, very legit and all of that. And I did 6 courses with them: hospitality management, accounting in hospitality, human resource training and development, supervising hospitality service. And it covered quite a bit because it covered basically management. It covered selection and recruiting. It covered security and housekeeping, front desk. So I had a whole nurturing of the entire hospitality industry by doing those courses.
So hold on. I'm going to pause you there for a second because you're giving us a lot of information. And what I'm getting though, you're saying though, you started, it wasn't something that you did in high school or you always dreamt about, but what you was some sort of passion and you like challenges. And as you started from, we'll say the bottom, we'll use that word.
Yes.
You had that kind of drive and then you're like, okay, there's something more I want to do. So you move from airport to different hotels and move up. And then I guess when you took that course is where it kind of really
elevated.
Yes. So now you can go into management, you can, but so I don't know if you want to, are you a mom?
I am a mom of 3.
Okay. So how were you getting time to do that?
Yeah, balance, the big question, to balance studies,
courses.
Work. And I was a single mom at that time. So so I set my priorities really straight. I grew up my kids under heavy discipline. So they know there is a time for everything. And they respected those times because like they say, train a child the way you want them to grow and you will get that result. And I kept that as my, watchword in everything I do with them. I made time for them, like sports, like any activity. I would make that time. I would request that time after job. But when it comes to the job, again, I was 200% serious about the job and what contribution I made towards the job. So when I asked for time, my boss didn't find it difficult because my contribution would always overcome, whatever it is. And they were in school, so I would manage them, school and home. And then there was the principle of never open the door for anyone.
Okay, I get it.
Because as single mom, you have one that is about 8 and 7. So you sometimes have to leave them without a babysitter, but you say never open the door for anyone. And they understood that and they did very well at it. And it shows because today one is a supervising engineer.
Oh, wow.
That's the girl. Yeah, she got a high grade in civil engineering. And my son is now running a company in St. Lucia where they utilize local. You see, we stress on local. They utilize local fruits and vegetables in making different powders and all of that. And it's a very successful business. And then the last one is still in college. She looking to study now. So
congrats. Congrats to you, Nester.
Yes, working, growing my kids and studying. For me, it was all about the end results. So I found the energy that I needed to pursue because I wanted an end result that was very, very, profitable to all of the sacrifice I was making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that you said that. So I'm just going to put it on there to my viewers. So what I got from you is that you had the passion, you like challenges. Not everyone likes challenges,
Yes.
but you had the passion, and you set yourself an end result, and you work towards whatever your end goal was. So that was your motivation, right? And
Yes.
guys, in this break, I'm going to say, even if you have children and you're single, you have to set pretty strict, boundaries and rules, so
Yes.
you achieve still without neglecting the children. And as you said, you worked, though you did your best and more. So when you asked for time off to go see your children in sports, it wasn't a problem. So you were able to balance it properly now.
Yes, I was.
So it's a bit challenging in itself, because yes, 3 children.
Yeah, sometimes you have those days where you feel like, oh my God, I could just lie down and sleep for 3 days. But you can't do that because there is the need that you have to fulfill. So
Yeah.
it was like when you get your day off, you would just say, okay, kids, you have your TV time, you have your news time, you have, and you lock yourself in there and you have some good sleep.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
Yes, it used to be like a luxury.
Now I see why you're doing 3 businesses. So that would lead us to the next business. So you talk about farming, and I know I saw a clip. I don't know, you got something from the ministry. I think that they had highlighted the Ministry of
Yes, they have done highlights to actually show that woman power in agriculture, or the diversifying of women getting deep into agriculture and making it sustainable for livelihood. So I was featured for that.
How did you get into agriculture? I mean, get into agriculture. Most kids okay, maybe I'm gonna generalize here, but most women not saying I'm gonna be a farmer when I grow up, especially when you got other things going, like you're working at a hotel. It's like a step up, if you want to say a step up from farming, right? That's because that's, I was younger, that was how it was viewed. What got into it?
My dad used to do farming when we were small, and we grew up having to, in those days, you have to tote the water to wet the beans and the tomatoes and stuff like that. But at the end of it, they tasted really good. And, sometimes you go back to the garden and you would see the produce on the tree and they look so beautiful. And you would say, my God, this is awesome. It's natural, it's tasty, it's nutritious. And, it's like you have accomplished something when you see the result that you're getting. So by and large, I always had that thing for nature, and I always wanted to plant something. I always wanted to harvest something. And because I have the concept of eat what you grow what you eat, it's sort of gotten embedded in me. And throughout my life, I continued with it. I have never, since I started farming in the 80s, while I was working at the hotel, I would grow my vegetables because I don't want to buy from people stuff that I don't trust, because I try to grow them as organic as possible. Keep to nature. Yes, so I've always grown my vegetables and tried to grow my fruits. And every year I would expand, I would go an inch bigger and bigger, yes. And bigger, because
I like
that's
the concept.
who I am. And I started from growing my own to selling the excess.
Wow.
And then I thought, okay, it's going pretty well. I can keep my job and I can do the farming and still have excess. So I started enlarging. And right now, I should say, we practically do farming on 7 acres. And I'm really proud of that. Yeah, I'm very proud of that.
From starting small and just expanding every year. So tell me, Ministry of Agriculture reached out to you. What was that like?
What was?
When the Ministry of Agriculture reached out to you, what was that like for you, that moment that it wanted to feature you as a woman doing farming, doing something sustainable?
It was good, I was excited because for over the years, I've always been active with the ministry. Like any training they have, I would attend. And any initiative, I would always show my interest and stuff, because I always want to get more knowledge about agriculture, because I always want to do something better and improve all the time. So when they called me and they said, okay, we're going to do an interview with you, and I thought, okay, that's my thing now.
Yeah.
So I made sure, everything was in place. And then I think like, okay, the ministry is coming to check out my agriculture. At that time, I was doing poultry as well. So I said, why not use the advantage to captivate all that I do? And I really involved my crochet and my footy mask into the whole interview. I'm going to have to get that interview and send it to you.
Yeah, please. And that is very smart. Now just showcase.
Yeah, because,
so
you grab any opportunity you can get to put your stuff out there. And me being me, I never pass up on one.
No, but you know what though? From your perspective, is you putting all your stuff out there at once. But the person looking at it like me, I'm like, wow, I like the idea that you're showing people, listen, I'm doing all these things. I don't just do crochet because I'm a woman. I don't just do fruity moss because I'm doing sustainable farming, and I'm using some of my own products.
Exactly.
I believe in eating what you grow, and I believe in organic and all this stuff. So I'm using my products to do this. And just to show other women, you don't need to, great, you can work at a hotel and all this stuff, but you can get your hands a little dirty.
Exactly.
It's fine, it washes off, and you produce something beautiful and healthy, and it shows on your body.
Exactly. So, after that interview, I didn't realize that it had such an impact. Sometimes I would go to the supermarket and ladies would come up to me and say, I saw you on TV. And, that was such inspiration to me. I started doing my little gardening. And, it was an inspiration to other women. And I said, I'm very proud that you've started, because that would lessen your burden on your finance. And exactly, because at the end of the day, they enjoy good, healthy vegetables and so on, and they save.
And you know where it's coming from, right? And it's organic for the most part. It's coming from your garden, and you save a ton of money. I like that. Oh, so I'm gonna ask you a little about. Tell us. I know COVID, because I know you're in Grenada, and Grenada is depends a lot on tourism and stuff like that. And I'm guessing some of your products cross the shelves or the paths of tourists. I know COVID, hit everyone. Was there a change for you during COVID? Did you have to change things around, or you were okay? Business was booming or better? What?
No, COVID actually gave me a slash. Because before the COVID, I was doing poultry and farming, with the crochet and everything else. But the COVID had a big effect on the farming and the poultry. And I don't know if you really follow after that, but after the COVID 2021 coming into 2022, a lot has changed in the poultry industry. Prices hiked up for chickens and feed and everything. So that made a lot of persons like myself, who was doing poultry on, let's say, a medium scale, sort of give it a break. Because when the prices are hiked up for both the chicks and the feed, but the prices for the meat product is not raised, you sort of operate at a loss. And you, as the medium farmer there, you wouldn't want to operate at a loss, because you always want to make sure that you make a profit or you sustain the business. So I happen to move away from the poultry, but expand more on the farming, because during the COVID, we saw a lot of differences. We saw the need to really, really push agriculture. Um,
Mhm.
things could not have come into the island and everybody wanted food. And
Yeah.
people would call you, do you have vegetables? What do you have? Anything? Can we get it? Is there
Mhm.
somewhere we can pick it up? And I sat back and I realized, I said, you know what? We need to be a little more sustainable in our island because we tend to
Yeah.
have excellent soil. And with that, it gives us the opportunity to grow a lot of stuff. And
And variety too, yes.
exactly, feed our people and have the excess to make a byproduct, maybe as a flour or something else. And you sell the excess, So that gave me the drive to really, really expand on the farming I was doing, because at that time I was like on a 3 acre, and then I said, you know what, why not go bigger? Because after this is all over, people are gonna get into eating more local.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I sort of studied the market trend as to what persons plant at certain time and when we have shortage for certain things. So I in my own self got this 7 acres which has a spring in it. So I have water. So what I did is that I got the big machine and I made myself a nice pond. So I am self-sufficient with
Wow.
irrigation.
That
Yeah.
is smart.
So
You save
me
on the
being
water there.
self-sufficient, I can farm year round without having any issue.
Mhm.
And yeah, I am at the step where I'm doing excavation, and after that, you're gonna see me fly with wings.
Do tell, do tell.
I'm telling you, there's nothing to stop me after that.
Well, listen, we'll do another interview on the excavation because we gotta do another interview on the excavation. I'd like to see you fly with wings.
Yeah, definitely.
Fly though.
Definitely. Maybe a month or two, I'll send you photos because that would be a difference after 3 months. Once the excavation is completed, we have a plan in place already to just go heavy on the planting one time. So within 2 or 3 months, you should be fruiting and selling crops.
Wow.
Again. Yeah. So I always go with a plan.
Well, okay, so wow, I learned a lot here today. And I think what's most impressive, you didn't go out and study a whole, take a master's or PhD in agriculture and,
No.
farming or making drinks or, you picked up some courses in the hotel industry. You learned some management skill, and then that to me was already flying. You flew with it, expanded your wings like an eagle, and just did things that you were passionate about.
Yes.
I think that you knew you were good at. What I like also is that you use most of your own stuff. You use your crocheting, that's your hand, something you learned from when you were a child. But you didn't stay stagnant with your ideas. You evolved into something that we would see with fabric out there, and I can't wait to wear, like, I really want that crop top. I don't know, but we'll see, and the farming, because that's not a thing that a lot of women do. At least when I was growing up, yeah, your parents, my mom did a little crop in the back of the yard, but nothing where they're running a farm, right? And doing poultry and hiring people. So I'm very, very, and honestly, congrats to your son and your daughter who just did engineering. And what was it? Sorry.
My son is running a business.
The business, and your daughter.
Yeah. My daughter, she's civil engineer.
Engineering, yeah. So that's your congrats to her. So before we wrap up, though, just tell for the little girl who's growing up in Big Yard.
Big Yard, yeah.
So the little girl who's growing up in Big Yard, or in any yard, or in any place in Grenada, or any place in the world, we'll pick any, I don't want to say third world or underdeveloped place, probably. What's some advice you can give, because you grew up in a big yard and farming is what your dad did and you had to carry the water to wet the plants? What's some things you can share with any young person or any woman just to help them develop something sustainable?
First of all, I would advise them to appreciate who they are. Look deep within and find yourself and appreciate who you are. Love what you do and do what you love. That's the most important thing, because if you do not love what you do, you would not aspire in doing or getting great results.
Yeah.
My thing as a woman, I believe in independence. I like to say, here is it, then ask, where is it?
Then where is it? I'm gonna use that.
I mean, no offense to those who depend on their husband or whatever it is, but I am more comfortable when I can say I have earned, or here I have, and I can give, you know, and that always have been my drive. I grew up seeing a lot of women struggle. Back in those times, they survive on less than they should have. And I've always thought to myself that I never want to be in a position like that when I, grow up. I want to be able to achieve things. I want to be able to own things. I want to be able to say to myself, well, I have worked and I have gained, or I have contributed to something.
Wow.
And so doing, I always kept my passion. I'm a person who is 100% against women violence. And that's something I stand very firm on. So people might say, why are you single? Because I don't take nonsense,
Well, to be in a man's world and to be in farming and stuff, I'm gonna have to say you really don't take nonsense.
Yeah. Before, when I in my management jobs, you sometimes take some of it home. So when you're in a relationship and you're a manager as a woman, you tend to manage every aspect, the job, the home, and everything. and you sometimes appear to be bossy. But it's not that you are bossy, it's that you want to ensure that things fall in line.
Yep. It's hard to take the hat, right? If you're managing everything.
And a lot of the male are intimidated by a woman who is independent, who is at that level, who can say, well, I don't need somebody so I can have a cup of tea, or I don't need somebody so I can look good. And those type of things. So I love being me. I'm very proud of being me. I am a very humble person. I am very satisfied with little, but I take a little and make much of it.
Make it a lot, yes.
Yes. So that's the kind of thing. And my advice to women especially, you have to be able to handle your challenges and think of your challenges as a positive way of having better outcome. Because if you look at your challenges as being negative, then you subject yourself to failure.
Yeah.
So that's my belief. A challenge for me is always giving me that energy. I have to overcome it and have to get that positive result at the end of the day. So women need to stand firm for who they are. You're a woman, yes, you have to subject to certain thing as a wife, or being mother or so. But you also have to think about yourself. What do I want for myself? When my children grow up and move away, what do I want to see of me?
Wow.
You have to think long term.
I like that, because as men too, a lot of us, we don't think long term because we're so caught up in the now, being the mom, the parenting.
Exactly.
Think when the kids move away, what do I want for me? And that's why a lot of us struggle when the kids move away, because we're like, there's nothing for us.
That's the thing. So you have to think about what you want long term. And I always like to keep fit, look good, eat well, and those type of things. I am very passionate about my mirror.
I like that. I'm guessing it's a long one, you know.
Yeah. So I look and I said, okay, something coming on here, something coming on there, that has to go, you know, and I'm like this kind of person.
I used to be there.
Yes, I keep at that figure, and I always, you know, think that once you keep yourself healthy, your mind is healthy, your body is healthy, you know, you would have healthy results. And your friends, there is one important thing that I didn't mention. Your friends should be able to build you. If you find you have people around you who is breaking you down, you just need to get rid of those side bags, because I refer to them as side bags. You don't want to have a side bag that's tearing you down.
True.
You have to have people that motivate you, that appreciate you for all the changes that you're making in your life.
Yeah.
And if you cannot do that, then really you do not need them around. So at the end of the day, choose your friends for how you want to develop yourself, and you know what kind of motivation you're looking for, or else you don't need them at all. And family, always have family time.
Yeah.
Very, very, very important. Family time, always find the time to entertain with family, enjoy family. And because I always think that memories is the only thing you can take with you. So yes, it's good to develop good family practice, you know, movie time, just telling stories, or just hanging out, having a little cook up, or you know, those type of things. Yes. We tend to entertain that a lot in our family, and we always say, well, we have the best family in the world, you know, because we always have a good time. We look out for each other, we share each other's problem, you know, whenever we discuss it, and we come up with solutions or advices. So my thing about family is number one, your family should be your best friends. That's the way I see it.
I agree. So now I'm just going to, I'm going to recap some things you say, but before I end the video, I wanted to, if anyone wanted to reach out to you to get in touch with you for Nester's Crochet, Fruity Moss, I can't wait for Fruity Moss, and Nester's Farm, how can they reach you? Do you have like social media, phone number?
Right. So I have Fruity Moss Grenada on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. I have Nester's Crochet on Facebook and Instagram as well. And then I have Princess Nester, which is me, on Facebook. On WhatsApp, they can reach me on 473-456.
Hold on. So WhatsApp 73,
473-456-5798.
456-5798.
Yes.
So guys, let's repeat that. If you want to reach Nester, Princess, you can find her on WhatsApp, 473-456-5798. And if you're looking for Fruity Moss Grenada or Nester's Crochet, you can find her on Facebook. You can find them on Facebook or on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. I'll repeat it again at the end. Nester, I want to say really thank you. And like, this is really enlightening, and you know, the woman farmer, the girl farmer who preaches what she practices, what she preach, eats what she grows, looks really good, have adult children, you know.
Yes.
Because she loves the mirror.
And one more thing, still available to take short contracts in terms of launching new restaurants or training, that kind of thing. So I'm still open to doing contracts for whomever would like to launch and need a professional in that area. So all in one package, you know.
So you can find out all in one package, Princess, 473-456-5718.
No, okay. 5798.
5798. I can't remember.
Yes.
Sorry. So I'll just let you say it again, Nester. You can reach her at WhatsApp, Princess, at 473-456-5798. Thank you. It's only because I can't read my own writing because I'm not wearing my ages keep see, I need that fruity moss infused with herbs or something.
It's good for the brain too.
And the eyes and everything. So we're gonna end, but I'm just gonna wrap up a few things. And I want to say thank you very much. You seem like you make farming really fun and you really enjoy the things you do. And I do appreciate the fact that you took simple little talents, simple things that you learned as a child, and you turned them into something, you turn them into a business. Your became a business.
I refer to it as agribusiness because it's not just the farming. It's the farming and taking the product that we have and making byproducts like soon you would see like scented oil or dry herbs package on the market. That's the direction where we go in, things like sorrel powder, pumpkin powder, and those type of things. So the farming is just one step of the expected end. Like I said, I always like an expected end.
I can't wait for the excavation. I want to see you fly. So I'm gonna look the next time I come to Grenada for the powders, and maybe I'll see them in Canada here one day. Who knows where flying, right? So thank you. Thanks for sharing your story. What I really appreciate, and one of the things you said that stood out is that how you handle your challenges, use them to have a positive outcome, sort of that handle your challenges in a positive way to better your outcome. I think that's what and I really like that because sometimes we have faced challenges and it really brings us down and we can't find a way, but you're saying use them to have a better outcome.
Yes.
So I like that. Don't let them stand in your way, guys. This lady
no.
Single, and though she's independent, she likes to say, here it is, then where is it? She's very independent, very busy, but still available. If you need any teaching, any contracts, anything, we know to reach her on.
Yeah, with the hospitality industry in terms of restaurant management and training, or even launching a new restaurant or upgrading. Yes, I do that, upgrading. Yeah, okay. So I'm pretty much open to accepting short contracts. I'm not promising anybody full time because I want to focus on my progress.
Yeah, well, wow. Thank you very much for this story. I can't wait to have you on again. I want to hear where we are when we launch further and start flying higher and you soar like an eagle. I want to be there with you, and I just want to be there to say, wow, this lady started in big yard, crocheting with a godmother, and I look for stuff on the shelf, But thank you very much. Thanks for being my guest. I appreciate it. I know it was challenging getting you here, but it happened, so I appreciate it. Guys, remember to remember to subscribe. I am Sandrian from We with Sandrian, and I have with me Nesta. And as I said, you can reach at 473.
456-5798.
And only because I'm not wearing my glasses. And
it's always a pleasure to engage.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And she's on Instagram also. So goodbye. Thank you. It's Sandrian from We with Sandrian. Thanks, Nesta.
Bye for now. Thank you for having me. A pleasure.
All right, bye.
Bye.